Howdy and welcome to another episode of Postcard from Morehead. I'm Larry Dixon. We're in the kitchen today, and what are we going to do? We're doing charro beans, Mexican cowboy beans. I've looked at a lot of different recipes, and the ingredients that I've come up with my version of charro beans. So let's look at the ingredients. I started out with 1 pound of dried pinto beans. I have soaked them overnight in the refrigerator. I have 1 onion. I'm going to use half of a yellow onion. I started liking these poblano peppers, and these are, I find, really tasty, so I'm going to use this instead of the jalapeno. I got 1 tablespoon of cumin, 1/2 teaspoon of paprika, and a teaspoon of oregano, or 1/2 teaspoon of oregano. I'm going to use fire roasted tomatoes is going to go into this. I had 1 hot dog left over. I'm going to throw it in. Chorizo sausage, going to fry it up. Instead of the hot dog so much, I'm going to use the Polish sausage right here. And I'm going to fry up about 4, maybe 6 slices of bacon that goes into this. Now, if you notice, I have 2 containers of chicken broth. Rather than cooking my beans in water, once I get them on the stove, I'm going to use chicken broth, going to enhance those flavors. So let's kind of clear this off and let's get prepared. Let's cut up our onions, our pepper, and let's get started. Well, welcome back. I've got 4 slices. I opted to go with 4 slices of bacon. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these up into kind of like bite-sized pieces. And that'll make them fry more even. And like I say, it'll be bite-sized pieces. Also, I had 1 hot dog left over. So I'm going to go ahead, cut it up. And we're going to fry all these up here in just a little bit. Probably kitchen scissors would have made this easier, but this is what I've got for the moment. So that's got my bacon cut up. Next thing I'm going to cut up is my onion. And I'm going to try to put it into some bite-sized pieces and not just little shreds. And some of you may be wondering, why am I using this plastic cutting board over the wood cutting board? It's going to make it easier to transfer this. Plus, Lenore doesn't like to get raw meat, like the bacon, on her cutting board. So, to make her happy, that's what I do. Next, I'm going to cut up the kielbasa here, Polish sausage. And we're going to fry all this stuff up in a little bit. Scoot that to the side. Next, I'm going to do my poblano pepper. And like I say, for me, this is somewhere between a jalapeno and a green pepper. When I discovered these, I really liked them. Cut my peppers up into small pieces. So that's got my poblano pepper cut up. The next, I've never used chorizo sausage. And I've talked to several people, and they absolutely love this chorizo. So there's what the chorizo looks like. Cut it out. I'm going to fry it up. That's got my bacon, 1 hot dog wiener, chorizo, poblano pepper, onion, and some Polish sausage. Let's go to the stove. So let's start out with frying up our bacon. I've cut it up into bite-sized pieces. Let's put it in the little Dutch oven here. And if you listen closely, you can hear it already starting to fry up. I'm going to go ahead and toss my hot dogs in there. Get a little bit of a char on them at the same time. And as you can see, I tried to make my hot dog pieces, bite size. And also on my Polish sausage, I went back and gave them another cut, Make them a little bit more bite-size friendly. I'm going to rinse this bowl out so I can transfer my bacon and meats back into this and save it until I get ready to put it in with the beans. The bacon has reached the crispiness that I desired. Taking a slotted spoon, moving it out. The hot dogs. So what goes in next is going to be my Polish sausage. I'm going to dump those in, get a little bit of a tan on those. Okay, that didn't take long. That's got my Polish sausage where I want it. It's got a little bit of color to it. My next step is going to be the chorizo. Man, this is going to have a lot of meat in this bean dish. I'm going to go ahead and put my chorizo in there. Smells good. I'm going to take this out, set it to the side. The pinto beans soaked overnight, so they're ready to go in the pot. I have drained them and washed them. Just dump them right in there. And instead of using water, like I said, to enhance those flavors, we are going to use chicken broth. Now, a lot of recipes call for 4 cups. Some call for 6 cups. Just make sure we got enough chicken broth in there to cover our beans. And by the time this boils down a little bit, we're going to need, looks like 6 cups. So, that's got that. Turn the heat on, let it come to a boil. And I am going to go ahead and I'm going to add our seasonings. Our onion. Our poblano pepper. And I'm going to add my meats back in there, my bacon, a little bit of grease in there with that. Well, that's going to look good. And this is going to take an hour and a half or 2 hours for those beans to get nice and tender for our charro beans. Initially, I did not add salt to this because I'm using the chicken broth and it's got salt in it. The meat has got some salt in it, so I did not add salt. And when it gets toward the end and I start taste testing, you may want to add a little salt. You can put it in, but you can't take it out. My beans have come to a boil. Turn the heat down, and I'm going to let them simmer. This may take an hour and a half, 2 hours, 2.5, until the beans reach the consistency that I and Lenore like. You may like your beans a little more firm or a little more mushy. So the time that they boil, that's up to you to suit your taste. And I'm going to let them simmer and cover them up. Let it vent just a little bit. And I'll keep check on them, make sure nothing's sticking to the bottom. And I'll let you know how long these have boiled. This has been my experiment with charro beans. And I've got some recommendations. First, you did not see me put the fire roasted tomatoes in the pot. I did put those in, just wasn't in the video. The poblano pepper did not give it enough heat. It needed the jalapeno peppers or andouille sausage. Lenore made the comment that it was kind of
not up to your speed and with the heat.
With the heat, not enough heat. We like a little bit of heat. So with the measurements and so forth that I used, not quite the heat level that we like. So either andouille sausage or definitely put in the jalapeno peppers. overall, though, the taste is good. It just does not have any heat. So based on flavor, I'm going to give it a full thumbs up for flavor.
Yeah.
For heat, not enough heat. So like I say, the peppers, jalapeno peppers, or the andouille sausage. So definitely worth the effort. Highly recommend it with those two changes. And check out the description below. I will make some changes to it. So this has been a postcard from Morehead, Lenore, and Larry Dixon. Check us out on YouTube. Like and subscribe. See you soon.